Welcome to Times of Refreshing. I'm your host, Toyin. I'm glad you can join me on this episode of Times of Refreshing. I hope you've had a great week so far, and I pray that the remaining part of your week will be awesome too. Last week on Times of Refreshing, we talked about the link between social media and depression. Today, we want to conclude that and look at ways we can overcome all these factors. Last week, we talked about the fact that people don't have enough friends physically to relate with, but rather they have thousands of friends on the internet. So when there's a need for counseling, when there's a need for a shoulder to cry upon, people get lonely. Loneliness can easily lead to depression. We also talked about something called picture reel. That is, there are so many glamorous posting on social media, on the internet, and everybody believes it, and so everyone wants to look like that. Most times people do not know that the pictures have been enhanced, photoshopped, and a lot of things have been done to it. And so this gets people thinking, why can't I be like that? But you need to know that it's not all that glitters, that is gold. We also talked about cyberbullying. In those days when people are bullied, they can decide I'm not going to school, or I don't want to go to that place of work, or I don't want to meet with those friends. But these days, there is no hiding place for those who are bullied through the internet. Cyberbullying does not give any of the victims any recourse to be able to just have a downtime and say, okay, I'll stay back and I won't be affected. Whatever they turn to on the internet, on their devices, it's there. And so because of this, a lot of people get into the state of depression. There's also FOMO, the fear of, missing out. A lot of people feel they are missing out a lot when they are not on their social media platform or when they are not on their digital devices. And this is not true. It's just a feeling. That is what the digital world has brought about. It has its good part. Like I said before, it's a gift. It's a gift for us to use to our advantage and to the advantages of others. But when we begin to misuse it, then it becomes a big problem. Then you start feeling, oh, I'm missing out on vital information, on what is happening, on the latest thing. The truth and the beauty of the digital age is that information is stored. No matter what time you choose to watch it or to check your email or to check what has been posted, it's never too late. I remember saying that last week also. Another problem that leads to depression is the fact that a lot of times people don't get enough sleep. We are going to see the reason why it is, not only because they stay up to check their social media platforms, to chat, and not only because of that, but people don't get enough sleep, and this affects them mentally to the extent that it can actually lead to depression. We talked about the fact that a lot of people feel they are not measuring up to their friends, and because of that, they always want to be on social media. They look at it and they look at the fact that I want to be like my friend. I want to do what they are doing. And when you can attend to that easily, then you start feeling bad about yourself. You lose self-interest and it can lead to depression. We also talked about the fact that a lot of people want their pages to be liked, and when it is not liked, and then they get upset because one of their friends or some of their friends did not like their page, and that brings them into a state of loneliness, anxiety, being upset, being down, and finally, depression. I also want to talk to us about the fact that, one of the very sure ways that the misuse of social media platform, the misuse of the digital devices and information can lead to depression is because we get addicted to it. Addiction is a very big issue with the digital world and social media platform included. These days, you have so many places where they are treating teenagers for digital addiction. If you look all around you, if you have a young person that plays games a lot, if you try to limit the time to take the game of such a person, you will find out that they get aggressive, they get antagonistic, they are agitated, they feel down, and eventually at the end of the day, they get depressed. So today, let us look at some of the ways we can actually overcome some of these things that the digital world and social media combined brings together and can lead to depression. One of the first things I want to tell you is something that I practice. I do this a lot. Turn off your notification. I'm telling you, if you're able to turn off your notification, you have a lot of peace of mind. Because then you are not going to hear it buzz when there's a new post on any of your social media platforms, or you have something that's an email and so many things like that, or some people have just gotten on the game and they want you to join. You need to turn down your notification. If you do that, it's going to help you to be able to get more rest, and there'll be no pressure on you. One of the other things I want to encourage us to do is to find other interests. Find other areas of interest. So many times, because we don't have other things we normally do, the digital world has just taken over our life. If you are not out there surfing, you are chatting on social media, trying to send email or playing game or doing one thing or the other. And you know the interesting thing about surfing, when you do put your search maybe into Google or any of the search engines, it's going to open up so many sites for you, so that if even you find what you're looking for, by the time you're done searching it out, it's leading you to another one. And before you know it, a long time, unproductive time has been spent in such a way that you would probably think about it later and you would not like it. So look for other interests. Have family time with your family. Catch a movie or watch a movie by yourself. Read books. Bake together. Do something new. Learn something new. This will take your mind off always constantly being on your social media platform or your game. Another thing you want to do is that you have to tell yourself about taking breaks. Do you know that some people still have their devices on when they are eating? Those are times you can cut. When you want to eat, put your device down. Don't be that person that eats and have the phone in one hand checking all the messages. And don't be that person that is always checking for emails when it is time to eat. Take time to enjoy your food and do not have your device on when you are eating. That will help you a lot, and it will take a lot of pressure off you. You can also discipline yourself, and you tell yourself how long you want to spend on your device, so that when it's that time, you cut it off. I know it takes a lot of discipline, but you and I can do it. We also have to use technology to help us overcome technology. On my phone, I have what you call screen time. I use Apple products. And I'm sure every phone carrier, every phone producer a manufacturer rather, they all have something that you can use to monitor your screen time and to manage your screen time. If you do not manage your screen time, you are just going to be there forever and you would not know how fast time can go. But my screen time tells me how long I've spent on my device, every day, weekly, and even tell me how long I've spent on internet, on the social media platforms that I go to. It tells me how long I've spent on them. And I'm able to look at it and decide that I need to tune this down so that I can at least have some rest mentally and even physically. So look for ones that you can use and it will really help you. And you can do the same for our children. If you have young children or grandchildren, you can suggest it to their parents. But if you have children, even teenagers, you are the one that pays the bill. So you can actually have parental control put in place. There are several apps that you can use that you can, use to make sure that they limit that the time that they use on their platforms or on their devices are limited. What are some of the other things we can do here? We can also fast, digital fasting. After all, there's something called digital addiction. There are so many terms now, digital obsession, so digital oppression. So also you can do digital fasting. That is, you can decide that you're going to fast, just like you abstain from food, you abstain from drinks at times, just to be able to wait upon God. You can tell yourself, I want to go on a digital fast. And honestly, I know people who have gone off their social media for like 3 months, 6 months, and who said that when they return, they find out that they do not have the pressure or the urge to always be there like they used to do. Do you know that there's something called the blue light on our devices, especially on our cell phone or especially on the smartphone? There is something called blue light that will not make you sleep if you sleep with your phone in the same room. Because what the blue light does is that it sends a signal to the part of the brain that produces melatonin that helps us to fall asleep, that it is not time to be released. And when that hormone, that melatonin is not released, then you will not be able to fall asleep. And then you are tossing up and down all night. The simplest thing, the easiest thing to do for all of us is to reach out to our phone and begin to see what has been posted, what has been shared, and we lack sleep. So what do we need to do? Don't sleep with your phone. Make sure you keep it in another room. And if you need it because you need it to wake up, like the alarm or some other stuff, just go ahead and put it far away from you so that it does not disturb your sleep. In all that I've said, we need discipline. For you to be able to turn off your notification, it demands discipline. For you to find other interests and not just stay on your devices, it demands discipline. For us to be able to set time so that we can power down either our device or our children's device, it's not a joke, it will demand discipline. For you to take a break for something so interesting as like in surfing, for something so interesting like in checking your email, it demands a break. Because also, research shows that when we are enjoying surfing, being on social media with our friends, this hormone, dopamine, is really released. The feel-good one, the one that makes us feel, that gives us a kind of satisfaction. And for us to be able to turn that down, we have to power down our devices. We have to tone down our activities on social media, on digital operations. I really want to hope that this has helped somebody. Don't forget to digitally fast. And don't forget, if you know you can't do it by yourself, talk to somebody and take it to God in prayers. I want to say thank you for staying tuned and watching this particular episode. And I want to encourage you. There are so many people struggling with their young ones out there. I want to encourage you, don't give up on them. Because like I said, things are going to get worse. The digital world is going to get faster. It's going to become more easily accessible. So we start now. Use it to the best of your advantage. Use it for your interest. But don't let it be the master of you. You master it. Thank you so much once again. I'm your host, Toyin. Until next time on Times of Refreshing, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.